Administrator Guzman, I'd like to make a statement about the 504 program and then ask a question about SBIC and then Community Advantage. We know that SBA's 504 program is so critical to helping small businesses with high startup costs like purchasing commercial buildings or expensive equipment. And in fact, last year, SBA saw a 41% increase from the previous year. Unfortunately, that same year, the program exceeded its $7.5 billion lending authority in September and was forced to pause lending for the remainder of the year, meaning that eligible small businesses were left without funding. This year, the 504 program is again going to run out of funds by summer. And that's why I strongly support the president's budget for 2023, which includes a $1.5 billion increase in lending authority and SBA's request for flexibility in the authority to raise the 504 program's cap by up to 15%, which is the same flexible authority for SBA's 7A loan program. I think it's so important to make sure that everyone can get the loans that they need and that there isn't a disruption in dispensing them. And then my question about SBIC. I am a big supporter of the Small Business Investment Company. I'm proud that my legislation to allow more capital to be invested in SBIC's, the Investing Main Street Act, passed the House in November last year, and that this committee included these provisions in the reconciliation package that passed the House in December. Certified SBICs are one of the government's lowest risk, highest impact tools to grow the small is not doing enough to reach our most underserved small businesses. In 2021, in fact, only 6.9% of the companies receiving SBIC financing were women, minority, or veteran owned. So could you talk about how the 2023 budget request would diversify the SBIC program and so that there would be greater representation?
Thank you, Congresswoman, and I agree with your earlier statements on 504. It's an important program that we continue to try to focus. And to an earlier question that was asked as well, we are looking to promulgate rules on the Express 504. We have implemented that already. On the SBIC program, I agree wholeheartedly that we want to make sure that that capital is accessible across the country, whether that's rural communities, diverse communities, as well as veterans. We want to see capital spread equally across across the nation. The SBIC program we are looking at from an outreach perspective, as well as the actual rules and regulations and the SBICs themselves to diversify and ensure that they are diversifying across not only the types of borrowers that they're supporting across the country, but as well in the types of funding. We want to make sure that at all stages of a business's development that they're able to access capital. And so we've been working closely with the industry to make sure that we can support an expansion of the servicing and offerings of the SBICs across the country.
Well, if I may, I also wanted to ask about Community Advantage, which has been very powerful in reaching significantly more female and minority small businesses than traditional lending programs. So I introduced legislation to make this program one of SBA's core lending program, which the House passed last year. Earlier this month, SBA noticed that it will be extending the pilot for another 2 years, opening up the program to new lenders and making some reforms to the program. However, there is currently still no official notice or new Community Advantage participant guidance reflecting these changes. So can you tell us when Community Advantage lenders should expect to see revised participant guide and what the content would be?
That's in process. Of course, we put the Federal Register notice about less than 30 days ago, and we will be putting out those rules so that we can expand the program as soon as possible.
Do you know when that will be?
In the coming weeks. It'll be. We're working on that and prioritizing that now.
And how about the? There was also an evaluation on whether the program should remain permanent, and I thought that the program had proven itself.
I know that there was a statutory proposal to make it permanent. We've extended it within the authority of the pilot.
Thank you.
The gentle lady's time has expired. Now we recognize the gentle lady from New York, Ms. Tenney.